Oh my god, my main fear of picking this book up is if I go into it and I start to hate Rhysand and then I fall in love with Nesta, I am going to riot. Hi guys! Oh my god, I'm so excited to talk about this vlog, but for one thing, I just got my baby Yoda, Udi, in the mail and I love it, but look. I'm so excited. It's so cute. And look at him. Look, he's all over this thing. And I also have my Baby Yoda necklace on. And I can fit him in my pocket. Oh my god. Like, I'm not obsessed or anything, am I? But I am excited because I'm here to talk about some things. I have a package. Right? Oh, my hood fell off. It's not even warm. I'm kind of concerned that like I won't be able to wear this outside if it's cold because like it's nice to wear it, but it's also like not too warm. But I'm excited because I have a package and I'm sure you got an inkling of what this is, but we want to unbox. And I'm starting this vlog because I'm worried I'm going to be spoiled for this book, so I need to start reading it. And I actually am pretty keen to read it, even though I'm not, because like I am but I'm not. It's kind of hard. But guys, I have the book. I have a lot of paperwork. Oh god. A Cult of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas is here. So I say I'm excited because it's Sarah J Maas and I will literally read anything Sarah J Maas reads. My god, this is a thick bitch though. But I also don't like Nesta. So I don't know how I feel about going into this book. I honestly wasn't excited until I did my anticipated reads list and I was like, holy shit, this book's coming out. It should be on my list. I'm mainly here for Cassian because he is one of my favorite characters. I do love Cassian so much. And literally when I was getting my next pet, I was either going to get a cat and call it Azriel or get a dog and call it Cassian. Like that's where my vibe was with these characters. But I just don't like Nesta because she treats her sister like shit, and like I know she's gonna get redeemed in this book because, as I said, I need to read this now because everyone is talking about this book. I have not been spoiled, but people are talking about the smut being fucking next level, so that's the main thing that I've read about, and also people just talking about how it does a really good job of the PTSD, but also a lot of people's opinions of Rhysand have been evolving here because everyone loves Nesta but they don't like Rhys anymore. Like that is a concern to me, but I need to read this before I get spoiled. But this is a thick bitch, as I said. Like, how am I meant to read this? How many pages is it? Am I gonna be spoiled for anything if I look at this? Okay, this is literally 751 pages. That is a lot to have to deal with, and I have still not been reading too much, but I'm coming back into it. I just read the Julian the Phantoms book and I started Lord of Shadows and I'm like 16 pages in, but I have to pick this up to get started, and I thought it would be better to do a reading vlog for this book because I want to see how my feelings are going to change, if I'm going to like it or if I'm going to hate it. You can see how red I'm getting because how fired up I am is making me hot in the Udi. And I just want to do like a review for when I read Queen of Air and Darkness, because if I vlog with reading that book, I feel like it's going to be too long. But this book, hopefully it won't be too long, but we'll just see how I go. But I'm excited to a degree. I've already said that, but like it's gonna be happening. I'm gonna be reading this book. What's up guys? It is so cold today. Like my god, I've literally got like 8 jackets on and I've started to read, I can't even call it, is it like, what's it called, like A Court of Silver Flames. It doesn't have a good acronym. It doesn't, does it? Like I know it's ACOFAS was A Court of Frost and Starlight. Silver Flames. I don't even know what to call it. I'm just gonna say Silver Flames because it's easier. But I'm only like 18 pages in, and literally like 2 pages in we had like the first F-bomb, and I'm like, damn, it is an adult book now, because I feel like all of these dudes would have sworn so much, and I mean Rhys, Azriel and Cassian would have been such heavy swearers. Also, I swear I've read this chapter before. Like, didn't like at the end of ACOFAS or at the end of ACOWAR there was like a chapter that was kind of like the first chapter of Silver Flames, but it's like been rewritten more now. Because I remember just there being that bit where it goes into it and then like, you know, Feyre wants to talk to her and Feyre's just like, girl, you have just got everything is messed up right now, so I'm going to send you a Cassian and you're going to go train on this hill or something. And I remember everyone having theories about this, that she's going to go through the process of doing this training and then climbing up this mountain. The phone's ringing! Oh my god, who was on the phone? I'm like stressed. I bet it's a telemarketer. Is it? Is it? Hello? the stress, man. They have called me like 8 times. But yes, I feel like I've read this first chapter. Like I'm feeling it. There's also gonna be spoilers in this vlog if you didn't realize, but I didn't actually talk about it at the beginning of the video. But I'm gonna try and keep reading because like, it's not really happening yet, but it's gonna happen. Okay, it's been like many hours since I last vlogged you guys, but I've been very late today because I'm going to Disney Plus themed trivia tonight, which I'm very keen about. I think I might be able to like have some good answers up my sleeve because I know a lot about Disney, so I think I'm good. And I've just been waiting to go to trivia, so I've done literally nothing today, and all I've done is like listen to music, read some of this book. I'm only up to page 53, I'm trying, and also watch some more Shadowhunters because I've been slowly rewatching it and it's just so much fun. Like, it's a guilty pleasure, but I started Lady Midnight and I really want to keep watching the show. It's been a lot of fun, but there is a lot to unpack literally only in the first 50 pages. So I definitely think it's good that Nesta is getting like this wake-up call, and I know they might be coming off as quite a bit harsh, but literally they're just saying to her like, you gotta stop drinking every night, waking up in random places, sleeping with randos all the time. Like, I understand that everything she's doing is a coping mechanism because she doesn't want to think about all the horrible things that happened to her. I feel like Sarah J Maas is really going to handle the PTSD that she's going through and the depression really, really well, because she did it really well with Feyre in ACOMAF, and now I think she's going to really show the journey. And now she's up in the House of Wind with Cassian and they're just bantering like they normally do. Like, obviously they're going to fall in love because it's their book, but I'm interested to see how much she's going to resist it before she starts to enjoy being up there. But it was a very interesting wake-up call. And also the thing too though is how I said in the beginning that I'm so worried they're going to make me hate Rhysand. But this is the thing, is when we read Feyre's point of view, we understood where Rhysand was coming from. But now that we're in Nesta's point of view, she doesn't like Rhysand, so he's always been the villain to her. So reading from her perspective, this is only her opinion, and I've really got to think about that. Even if Nesta sees him as the villain and she's going to hate him and villainize him, it's only her point of view. Rhysand is a great character and I'm never going to not think that. Like, sometimes he does make bad decisions, but that's because he's human and everyone's flawed. But I do think it's interesting that because Feyre has such love for him, she never sees him in that bad of a light. But just to say, Feyre is completely able to call him out on his shit and be like, dude, stop it, that's my sister, can you just go away, like, don't act like this. Like, she's not this timid little person. Like, she will say to him, like, you aren't saying the right thing. So as I said, he's kind of flawed, but I'm feeling that we're gonna have a lot of like anger from Nesta, which makes sense because we're in her point of view. And also, I cannot get past the change of going from a young adult to an adult, because they are talking about some bloody stuff, man. Like, they are going into some detail of things that I'm like, oh my god. And like, some of the things that Cassian, Azriel and Rhysand got up to in their youth, and the things they did in the same room, like, I can't, this is so jarring. Like, they're getting so, like, I know they're all 500 and I know they could have been talking like this the whole time, but to have a young adult series shift into an adult series, it's just flipping me the fuck out. Like, I'll get used to it, and apparently probably about 40% of this book is smut. So, I don't know how to feel, man. Like, I am enjoying this. It's an interesting experience, that is for sure. Oh my god, guys, I'm back from trivia and I won a fucking bottle of wine! Look at me go! I don't even drink wine, but I'm gonna take the prize of winning this. Like, yes! Yes! I won the wine! Oh god, it was so funny. They were so excited to have me on my team. Half of these people I didn't even know. I just turned up because one person invited me and we did the trivia, and it's actually going to take place over 2 nights. So tonight is the 23rd of February, which was the first part of the Disney Plus trivia, and the second night is going to be on the 16th of March. Whatever the Tuesday is around that time. So tonight they did National Geographic, Marvel and Disney, and next week is going to be Star Wars and Pixar. So next week might not be as good, but we literally aced it on the Marvel stuff because I knew so much. And the tiebreaker question was, how many Marvel movies are there? And I was like, 23! Like, I just yelled it. Like, the dude came over and asked us to do the tiebreaker and I was like, 23! And no one knew what was happening. I'm like, it's 23! I know this off the top of my head. And the dude looked at me like, the fuck? Like, how do you know that? And he asked the other team and like, they guessed at 25, so they were pretty close, but we were all just like, yes! And like, because I was so spot on with that answer, they gave me the bottle of wine. Like, our whole team won this, but they let me have it. But because we came second, we also got a $50 gift card, so they're gonna use that for drinks the next time that they go to trivia. Like, trivia's on every week, but I haven't been for like a year. But it was so fun, and like, I got to wear my mouse ears, and I wore this new shirt that I bought. This actually is new too. It's so comfortable because it's been so fucking cold, but I'm just so... Sorry, I thought that was a spider. It's just a moth, but I'm so hyped. But it's also really late. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and I've just gotten home. I still have to like shut all my blinds and everything. But I won something. How long has it been since I've won something, and it's something that I can't drink? But like, there you go, Mum. There's a present for you. Okay, I honestly can't believe how cold it is. But my final tally of today was I read 81 pages. What I think is kind of funny though is for the small amount of this book that I've read, I honestly can't remember why I hate Nesta so much. Like, she actually is not that bad in this book. And I don't know if Sarah J Maas just like 180'd her character, or she actually was never that bad, or it was just Feyre being like, she's such a dumbass. But I am really enjoying it. Just saying, I'm trying to say it's mirroring. It's not the right word, is it? I'm definitely getting similar vibes of Feyre's story as she had to deal with her PTSD as the same as Nesta. Like, Nesta's is way worse. Like, she has quite a lot to deal with. And I think Cassian is going to get her out of the rut soon enough, even though they're just bantering at the moment and it's great. But I am just really enjoying this at the moment. Like, I've already flipped here to being like, oh, Nesta's not that bad. Like, I'm just enjoying the story for what it is. Like, I don't even know why I'm not hating it, but like, it's just been a lot of fun. But I really should go to bed now. Hello, guys. Joining back in for the vlog. So it's only been like 2 days since I last vlogged. I read 16 pages yesterday. It was not enough to want to do a vlog, but I'm up to page 136 now, and something that I'm so happy is confirmed is Nesta thinks Azriel is the prettiest, and like, damn straight, that's why my little baby boy, my cat, is named Azriel, because he's a beautiful being of a cat. Not nice personalities. I'm literally dissing Azriel's character so badly with the personality that my cat has, but also praising him for how beautiful my cat is. But that was info that I didn't know I needed until now, and it's beautiful. And also, Nesta tried to go down the stairs again and she tripped over, and I just want her to accomplish getting down those stairs, because she got to 111 the first time, and then she got to 66 this time, and I'm just like, girl, this is the main thing I need to see you do. You need to make it down these damn stairs. It's not important at all to a lot of stuff, except mentally it's important. Also with the training though, she has not trained for at least 3 days now, and Cassian's just sick of it, but I don't know why he didn't catch on earlier that she doesn't want to train, because people are going to be looking at her and judging her, and it's like, anyone would feel that way if they don't know how to do something and then have a whole crowd of people watching every step you make. So he's going to move her to a secure location where she doesn't have to be embarrassed about how she's gonna look. Yeah, Cassian's gonna make fun of her, but that's just how he is, and that's why we love him. But she's gonna feel a lot better and hopefully become stronger. And theory time, right? Rhys has been putting this like barrier and this protective shield around Feyre this whole entire time. Like, I don't even know how he's keeping it going when he's not near her. But my question is Feyre pregnant, and that is why he's protecting her, because people can't even scent her, and I'm pretty sure males can scent when a female is pregnant, and it like brings out like protective instincts or something. But like, I wonder, because we know she does get pregnant, because in Kingdom of Ash, when Aelin is like going through all the worlds and shit, we see Rhys and Feyre, and she's pregnant, and then Rhys helps her like slow down. So we know that she gets pregnant, but the question is when. Like, does this happen in 100 years? Does this happen now? And I just wonder if he's just protecting her, but I also wonder why he hasn't told anyone that Feyre is pregnant. And like, if the Night Court gets killed, they don't have an heir. So hopefully they have this baby soon if she is pregnant. But I hope this is what's happening, because like the scent thing is what's speaking to me here, where I'm like, why would you hide the scent though? You know, hopefully we'll read some more of this later, but also I'm probably gonna go watch TV. So we'll see what wins. Guys, I feel like shit is heating up and hardly anything has happened yet. So I'm up to chapter 14, which is page 157, and what is interesting is the idea of Valkyries has been introduced into the stories. Unless they have mentioned it in any of the other books and I've just completely bypassed that information, but they are literally here talking about Valkyries because Nesta's becoming friendly with one of the priestesses, but she's actually only an accolade, so I think that's how you say it. I don't know, accolade, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's training and her name's Gwen, but they're talking about Valkyries and how they're like this warrior race of people, and they're saying that the 3 stages of training are novice, blade, and then you become a Valkyrie. And what is interesting about that is part 1, is called Novice. So is Nesta gonna become a Valkyrie? Like, this is new information and I'm kind of shocked. I'm already shocked. I've only read 150 pages. There is 600 to go. But is this what's gonna happen? And is her power linked to being a Valkyrie? Like, because of the cauldron? Maybe that's how the Valkyries got made or something. Like, I'm intrigued. There is a lot of information going on there. And also for the fact that Cassian and Nesta have made a bargain because he wanted to get her to train. And she's begrudgingly starting to train, so she's going to get stronger. So obviously she's going to become like this warrior fighting woman. And I'm very excited about this. I'm enjoying this so much. Like, why don't I even hate Nesta? Like, she obviously was such a horrible person for so long. But I think she's going to redeem herself in this book. But they made a deal and now they both have similar tattoos, and that's the whole thing with the Night Court, is you get tattoos when you make deals. But she is basically bargained so that she does an hour of training, but then Cassian will give her a favor of any magnitude of something that she wants. And at first I thought she was going to be like, well, my favor is for you to take me down so I don't have to be stuck up here anymore. But I'm feeling she's going to hold on to this favor and she's going to use it in a moment where, like, she's going to make Cassian leave her or something. Like, they're going to be nearly dying and she's like, Cassian, you got to go. I'm giving in the favor. You have to do what I say. And he's going to leave her and then she's going to be like, become a Valkyrie. But all I can think about is Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok, which is kind of funny because they call her Valkyrie even though she is a Valkyrie. Like, why is that her name unless she has another name? She probably has another name. I think this is a very interesting way that the story is gonna go, and like, like, I've already got all these theories going on and I haven't even gotten anywhere in this book, but it's exciting. What up? So I've just gotten back from work, guys, and I haven't really read too much of my book because I've been at work all day, but I just wanted to come have a chat. Like, honestly, this whole vlog is just going to be me chatting about this book, and I've only read like 20 more pages, but I just still find it so jarring, the change from young adult book to adult book, because there is so much swearing, there is so much just like sexual innuendos and actual legit sexual references and everything happening there, that it's just too much. And also part of me is so annoyed that we never got an adult version of the ACOTAR trilogy, because there's so many moments in the series where the characters could have just been like, fuck, and it would have been so good, and we did not get that. And then coming into the series when it's just like, oh my god, they swear every 10 seconds. And this is also the thing, is Sarah J Maas is one of the only authors where there's a very fine line between her smutty scenes being like really good or just too much. And at the moment I feel like it's going to be too much, because it feels like to me that they're going to end up together a lot sooner than other characters, because they've already been pining for each other for like 3 series as background characters, that I feel like it's going to happen sooner rather than later. But I also feel like it could turn into like a hate fucking situation for a little bit here before they like admit to their feelings. But I'm just worried that it's gonna be just too much. Now, I don't mind reading smut, like I'm not one of those people that really hates it, but like Sarah J Maas, as I said, she has a very fine line. But it's also interesting though, because I feel like this book's gonna have so much of it, whereas Crescent City, we were robbed, man. Like, I'm still annoyed, and it's so funny that we can be sitting there wanting it so much, but then I'll read this book and be like, no, take it back, I don't need it, do not need it. But I am going out to dinner tonight, so I probably won't have too much time to read, and WandaVision is on tonight, and I'm so excited because WandaVision, WandaVision, there's 2 more episodes less and I'm stressed. But then we get to have the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then we get Loki, so everything's going to kind of keep progressing here. But I'm also really excited too, because they've just released seasons 2 to 6 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Disney Plus, because before there was only 1 season for ages, and then Star came out, and then suddenly we had 5 more series, and I'm so excited because I've been watching the movies but also watching the show. So like every time I get to up to the point in the show when you've got to watch a movie, that's like the way I've been doing it, and that's been really exciting. So eventually I'm going to rewatch WandaVision once I've finished watching all the movies and everything. But it's just been a really fun experience coming back to these movies, because some of the like really early ones on I haven't watched for like 5 years, so it's been a lot of fun and it's been taking up a lot of time. But I'm also trying to read because I'm really excited to keep reading this book. Like, I'm really hyped for all the things that are happening, and like I want to keep reading, but I have to go to dinner. But this is my update for the moment. Guys, I'm here. I went to dinner and it was expensive and the food wasn't too great. Like, it was reasonable, but like for the fact that we spent in the hundreds for 7 people, it was bad. And also I watched WandaVision tonight, so episode 8. Shit's getting real. It's so intense and I'm so excited. But there's only 1 more episode left, so I'm concerned, but it's intriguing me. And like, are we only getting like 1 season of all of these shows, or is there going to be like multiple seasons? Like, who even knows? But in my reading, I have gotten up to page 206, And Nesta is getting pretty good at the training, and she also has made it up to stair 600. I'm so proud of her. Like, I am honestly so keen for her to get to the bottom of these stairs, but I feel like maybe there'll be like a really big reason for it. Like, she has to run down there and she's gonna make the 1,000 stairs. That's what I'm hoping for. Or she's just gonna be strong and get there. But she also is offering the chance for some of the priestesses to do training as well, so that they can feel stronger themselves, because all the priestesses that are in the library are there because they were assaulted at some point in their lives, and Rhysand has made this kind of like place for them to be like safe and feel safe, which is so beautiful, and I remember loving that so much in Aka War. But she wants to hopefully help them, because Nesta knows that doing the training is helping her, but she still is so mentally messed up, and at this point it's understandable because she has a lot that she has to go through. But she finds the breathing techniques really help her like sharpen and focus, and she just wants that for the priestesses, and I'm like, that's so adorable. And just, oh, like, it's so cute. Like, she's gonna become a Valkyrie and train everyone, and she's gonna be like a boss ass bitch. But also, is she gonna do the blood rite? Because I know that before this book came out, there had been so many theories that Nesta is going to do the blood rite, and people were so annoyed that it was gonna be like this, you know, redemption story when she's gonna do the blood rite and she's gonna fix it and it's gonna be all good. But like, I think it'd actually be really cool if she does it when she becomes a Valkyrie, because that is literally where the story is going. I'm just excited. I've read 200 pages and I'm reading this pretty leisurely. Like, I really want to read it, but I'm not doing so great with reading like a lot in one go. Like, I remember reading Crescent City in like 5 days, but this one's definitely going to take me a little while, but I'm enjoying the experience. You know, totally coming back 2 seconds after I filmed, but also something that I wanted to talk about is Elain has finally come to visit Nesta, and I feel like we haven't really had much of Elain's character yet because she hasn't been in the story, obviously, but I really only remember seeing her through Feyre's mind, but seeing her through Nesta's is quite different, because Nesta and Elain grew up together and they kind of isolated Feyre from them, even though Elain and Feyre did get on, and like Feyre and Nesta have like a shit relationship, but they try to do everything. And it's interesting to see this because when they first became Fae, Elain was the one that was having a lot of trouble and wouldn't eat and wouldn't do anything, and they were trying to help her, and Nesta was the strong one. And Elain has come to visit her to see how she's going, but I just find it so sad that Nesta's first instinct is to be on the defensive and to like jab at people just to insult them so that they don't look at what she's internally doing with herself. But something that I found interesting is Elain and Grayson actually have slept together. Like, Elain seems like such an innocent kind of personality that I didn't expect her to like sleep with someone before the wedding, and the way that Nesta kind of threw that at her was awful, but also like, this is shocking. It's kind of interesting that all of them have had sex before that they're gonna end up with whoever they're gonna end up with. Like, a part of me still really wants Elain to end up with Azriel because they have like a really cool friendship, but of course she's probably gonna end up with Lucian because you got to be where you mate. But it also seems interesting to have the mate bond where they don't end up together, like they just don't work well together, because we've seen that the mate bond isn't always great, especially with Rhysand's parents, because they just hated each other even though they had the bond. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Like, there has to be a book where it's going to be about Elain and Lucian and Azriel and whatnot's going to happen there, but I just need Azriel to be happy and Elain to be happy too. But it's just like, even just that little bit of a conversation between them just shows so how far Nesta's come and how far she still has to go. Oh my god, I knew it! Feyre's pregnant! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Our bae is pregnant. Like, she has got a bun in the oven. She's 2 months pregnant and I fucking called it, okay? Like, it was pretty obvious that's where I was gonna go, but literally, it's happening. She is having a baby. But like, this makes me feel so old, because I remember reading ACOTAR when I was still in high school. So that was like 6 years ago. Like, I was like 17 at the time, and I'm now turning 23 next week, and I feel like such a proud mama that my baby is having a baby. Like, I just can't believe it. I've aged so much in these 6 years that, like, I used to think that Feyre was so old at 19 for being the main character. But me being 23 and her being 21 now, because she's only aged 2 years in the 6 years that I've aged, I'm also sitting there like, oh my god, girl, you are so young. Why are you having a baby? Why are you doing this to your life? Like, obviously she does want to have the baby with Rhysand, but I remember when she was like first getting with Reese and she's like, dude, I kind of want to live my life for a little bit before we can have a baby. And he's like, yeah, cool, however long you need. And then suddenly in Akafas, she's all like, dude, for your birthday, I'm going to give you what you want, a child. And it's like, do you even want that child, girl? Like, do you actually want that child? And then next minute she's pregnant, and we also got the snippet, obviously, in Kingdom of Ash, so we knew the baby thing was happening. But also, you're only 21, Feyre. Like, are you sure? I'm sure she's so happy to having this baby, but this also makes sense why Reese is being kind of like weird at the moment because he's so protective. But like, dude, she's fine. The baby is not gonna like have anything happen to it right now. Like, I'm assuming she's gonna have the baby in the book though. Like, we've got a lot of book, but Fae pregnancies last for 10 months. And she's 2 months in. So does that mean this whole book's gonna take place over like 8 more months for her to have this baby? Because I want to see the baby. But also, I'm so sad though, because we've been with Feyre and Reese for so long. But I want to know what Reese's reaction was when he first found out Feyre is pregnant, because he would have been able to send it on her. And I just wanted to see their happiness. Like, I feel like it's kind of shit that we're seeing their life through other people now, because like they're having a baby and they're so happy, and like how happy they were with the announcement. And like, I want to see Reese's overprotectiveness from Feyre's point of view. Like, I want to see them being happy, but it's been taken from me. Like, I do like having this story about Nesta and Cassie, and it's been really, really good. And it's ironic too, because like, what, we're up to page 252 and we've already had 2 sexy times. Like, give it a break, guys. But it's also funny because it's like friends with benefits, but they hate each other, so it's kind of like enemies with benefits. How good would that be as a story plot? Like, they're villain and hero, but they have sex with each other. Like, that could be a thing. That should be a thing. I just think it's interesting because they're gonna obviously be sitting here like, it's only sex, bruh. And then the next minute they'll be like, I fucking love you. Like, I'm waiting. My God, I swear a lot in Sarah J Maas vlogs, but like, they're bringing it out. There is so much swearing in this book. I'm keen. Also, stuff is seeming to line up because they got to find like these artifacts in this trove thing, and the cauldron's gonna come back and everything's gonna go to fucking shit again. But I'm just so excited about the baby. Hello. So I didn't actually vlog yesterday, but I actually did read a bit of this book. Like, I feel like I'm making progress. I'm up to page like 315 or something. This book is very slow. It is very character based, not plot based, and basically it's just Cassian and Nesta just having the same conversation and training over and over and over and over again. But I like don't mind it, which is weird. Like, I've seen a lot of people complaining that it was too long, it could have been shorter, and I agree with that. But I guess it's all big part of the main plot and all that stuff. But I feel like we're not going to see a lot of like action. We're just going to see her development and growth, which is kind of the point of the whole book, which I think is pretty good. She has made it to step 3000 and I'm so proud of her, but like, shit coming back up those stairs. Like, I could not do 10,000 steps. Like, I could maybe get down it, but I would not go back up. I'd be like, no, I'm going to die down here now. I'm not going the upward. Going downstairs is a lot easier than going upstairs, is my theory. She is also, oh my God, my camera's going to run out, but I'm also excited because she has started training with one of the priestesses, Gwen, and also an Illyrian woman who had her wings clipped like a long time ago called Emery. And I feel like they're all going to become like best friends, and they're going to train, and like maybe they might do the blood right together. Like, how cool would that be if they learn to train and do all this stuff? But I think it's so great that she wants to help the other women who have gone through assault and everything that are working in the library, and she wants them to feel stronger and to feel more confident. And even though they'll probably be scared to be around Cassian because he is a male, they'll understand that he is a good male and he is going to be looking after their well-being. And I just think it's beautiful that we're going to see this development of Nesta slowly relying on these women and becoming friends with them, and knowing that she's not alone, and she can find them with Cassian, but at the moment they still kind of hate each other, and like, they're starting to understand each other. But same as like how they're not going to admit their feelings and they're only going to have sex up until the point where they're going to be like, I can't live without you, which I'm waiting for, and I'm waiting for. I just hope they don't end up being mates, because it's going to shit me if they end up being mates. And I'm like, you've known each other for 2 years and you never felt the bloody bond. If that happens, man, I'm gonna be so upset. Okay, I've literally read like 20 pages since I last talked to you. I'm up to page 338, but I wanted to come on here to say Feyre might die. I am kind of stressed. I kind of knew this was coming years ago, like when I would be looking at Tumblr. Like, I still look at Tumblr now because it's a great resource for just seeing all the cute fandom edits and stuff. When ACOTAR and ACOMAF were all happening and people were talking about Reese and Feyre and being together, there was a lot of like, you know, one-off stories people would write about Feyre having a baby. And because Reese is Illyrian, well, he's half Illyrian, and they have wings, there could be potential issues with her pelvis not being big enough for the baby to go through because of the wings. It could be a dangerous birth. So part of me knew this was coming, but to have it confirmed that she may not make it is actually just so upsetting. It's been such an abrupt thing, even though I knew that something could happen. I didn't know to the extent of it. Pretty much no high females who bear Illyrian children ever make it because the wings get caught, then the baby dies and the mum dies. And I'm just stressed. Okay, I'm stressed. She's bloody gonna have this baby at the end of this book, isn't she? And there's gonna be complications and I'm not ready. And Rhys is feeling so bad about it because he's like, oh, like, it's because of me. How did they know that when they conceived the damn baby, she was in the Illyrian form? Why would she even be in the form? Like, that just made it worse. Just saying, what if Nesta and Cassian have a baby? Is she gonna die too? And what about Azriel? Like, if he ends up with Elaine, then there's another Illyrian half baby. Like, all of them are gonna die and they're all gonna end up with the three bros. Like, oh my god! I mean, I doubt Feyre's gonna die because she never kills anyone important in her books because that's just a rule. But I'm concerned. This is me literally at the start of every video. I have to do that every time now. It's just been ingrained into my brain. And also, new angle, because I always film in the same like 4 locations, so I thought I should change it up a little bit so it's a different camera angle. I didn't talk about this book last night because I always seem to get tired because I just did my 2 late shifts where I finish at 9 and then I end up watching something on TV and then I try to read for a bit and then I'm just too tired to talk on the camera, so I'm up to page 404. But what happened? Oh, the thing with the bog. How cool was the bog scene? That was so crazy and intense. And like, I love the fact too when Azriel got hurt and everything and Cassian was like, oh shit, and turned around and Nesta's like, we gotta save him, and he's like, I can't drop you when you don't know what you're doing, and she's like, just chuck me in a tree, and he actually put her in a tree, but then she got worried and came down. And you know what I find interesting is that with Sarah J Maas characters, whenever they see something frightful, they always wet themselves, and I don't think it's a bad thing because it happened to Aelin and I think it happened to Feyre, but I feel like it's nice that she doesn't shy away from the fact that they're so scared that they wet themselves. And the thing with the Kelpie, like, my god, I was so terrified for Nesta, but like, how many times can she almost get raped in this series? Like, she is going to become such a boss ass bitch and she's going to kill all the people that have ever hurt her in that way, or people that will try to hurt her in that way from now on. And I really appreciate her fighting for that, and how Cassian was so worried about her. Like, there is clearly a mate bond, okay? I'm gonna get resigned to it eventually, but like, I'm just annoyed that they want to bring this into the story because it's like, can't they just be like in love without having a reason, you know, just like each other? And more priestesses have been coming to the training. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I know that with Gwen and Emery, they have both come, but there's like 8 priestesses there now, and I'm sure that they're gonna need like Azriel to start helping soon because it's just too many people for Cassian to train. And I love that he takes time out of his day every day, not just to train Nesta, but to train these women, and I think it's so beautiful that they're doing this. Like, Cassian is such an honorable character that he would do this for these people, and I'm sure Azriel would be honorable as well to help them, but I just love that they want to do this. And literally Rhys is just out of it at the moment because like, with Feyre being pregnant, he's just gone like ultra possessiveness and like, you know, if you even look at my mate wrong, I'm gonna kill you because she's pregnant. And like, I understand it's the instincts and, you know, he wants to protect her because she's pregnant, but like, calm down, dude. She's fine. Hopefully she's fine. Like, the thing with the wings is still a bit concerning. Like, I'm just coming here to have a little chat. What else has happened? Oh, I finally fully did the deed, so it's like, like, honestly, as I said earlier in the vlog, it's like there's a fine line between cringe and not cringe, but some of it I'm just sitting there just like, stop, just stop it, it's enough. And like, God, it's just like, now that they've fully gone there, and I thought it was funny too because Cassian hasn't had sex for 2 years and he's just like, oh, my life sucks, man, and then he finally gets to be with Nesta and he's like, she's the best person I've ever been with, and I'm like, dude, calm down. Like, literally they put it so out of proportion with this series how sex actually is, and I'm just like, really? Really? And people who haven't had sex will read these books and think this is how it is, and I'm like, it's not. It's clearly not. But I am still enjoying this, but like, I've still got 300 and something pages left to go, so I don't really know what else is going to happen. But they've found one of the Trove artifacts because, oh yeah, she had the death mask on and that was all crazy, and I'm just like, oh my god. They've got to find like the crown and the harp, so I'm assuming that they're going to have like more adventures of finding the thing. But as I have said, it's a quieter book. There is not high action plot, and even though there does seem to be like a war building up and it's going to get really intense really quickly if they can't stop it, like, the whole ACOTAR series was just like bam bam bam, like element after element after element. And even though ACOMAF was again a character based book, the development and the growth and my love for Feyre and Rhys really made that book for me. But it just, yeah, it's quieter, and I don't know how I feel, because it is a very massive book, and it's just like, is it too long? Probably. I'm still enjoying it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to give this 5 stars because I really enjoyed it. And I'll just look at the page here. Like, I'm up to chapter 39, but she makes it to 6,000 steps. I still don't understand how she's so cool to just walk all the way down there, but then to come back up would take forever. Like, I remember walking up the Big Buddha, and that was like 400 steps up, and like, that killed me. But to do 6,000? Like, my god, no thank you. Okay, I've been really slack, and even though it's been about 2 seconds since you guys saw me, it's been a couple of days since I've read this book, and I'm literally up to page 454. I just haven't really felt like reading that much, and I don't know why I haven't, but I don't really have like that much to update on. Like, I'm trying to think of what was like the last thing I talked about, and I honestly could not tell you. The thing I want to talk about now though is Nesta has found a way to create like magical weapons, and she didn't know she was doing it because she was just like at the blacksmiths and she was like hammering the weapons, and you know, it was all about trying to get her anger out and everything. And then next minute the blacksmith is freaking the F out, and he leaves the weapons with Rhysand, and they're all looking at them and they're just like, holy shit, she has made legendary weapons and we might have an edge against this like battle. And also the interesting thing is we're starting to get like inklings that a new High King might eventually be a thing that happened. There was a High King like tens of thousands of years ago, and he had a sword called Dwendien, and he was all powerful, but then he kind of like lost his power and everything kind of went to shit, and then they decided they were going to have 7 High Lords instead of a High King. And now that they have these weapons, everyone's saying to Rhys, you know what, dude, you should be the High King, Feyre should be the High Queen, and then if anyone ever challenges us, well, we have a High King. And Rhys is just like, heck to the no, I don't want to deal with that, all I care about is Feyre and my people. But they're all telling him like, this is what's happening, the Cauldron has picked you, dude, and why is it that Feyre suddenly became into your life and was able to save you from Amarantha and fix everything, and then Nesta has come into Cassian's life and she has the Cauldron's power, and even Elaine coming into his life. Like, these 3 girls have come into his court, come into his life, and they are giving him the power that he needs, that I am just so excited about this idea. And I don't think it's going to happen in this book, but I think down the line with the other 2 novels that we're going to get, it's going to be very interesting to see this development, because I just think it's such a cool idea, and like the Valkyries, the High King, like it's all starting to build, and I'm very keen. So I just got to part 3, so I'm up to page 513, and the thing that I really want to talk about right now is the fact that Nesta made it down the fucking stairs, and I'm so proud of her. But I thought this moment was going to be like so uplifting and empowering, but it was actually so heartbreaking because she was fueled by such anger that she just sprinted down those stairs so that she could go and yell at Amren. And I can totally see where Nesta is coming from, but I can also see everyone else's opinions of it. Like, it is very annoying that Cassian just reports on every little thing that she does, and everyone knows about what she's doing, and like nothing's a secret. And even though Cassian has told her certain things, for the fact that they wanted to keep from her that she was able to create those weapons, but then like they say that she's making progress, but then they still treat her like she's a caged animal. I understand why she got so angry, and like, yes, it was awful that she told Feyre about what was happening with the baby, and Feyre was so upset, and like that's not the way that you want to find out. And I also found it very interesting how similar the 2 situations were, because Feyre had stuff kept from her, Nesta had stuff kept from her, and basically it came down to a vote of what each would know, and I thought it was very horrible. And I definitely think that Rhys would have had a lashing about it, and I think it was also horrible that like when Cassian came to find out what was going on, and he's like, literally take her out of the city or I'm going to fucking kill her, and I'm like, Rhys, you're taking it too far, calm the fuck down, dude, because everything isn't about you, and she is in a lot of pain. And like when they went to do that walk, and Nesta felt so bad for what she'd done, but she's always put up these walls and like deflected through anger and through insults and through everything, that she doesn't really know how to just talk to people anymore without insulting them, which is a very interesting thing to know about her, because she's always been quite rude, but I've never really thought about the whys of it. And like when they started to go on that hike and she literally was not eating, she was wasn't drinking, she didn't talk for 5 days, and then she just let it all out and literally told Cassian so much about what she's going through. And I think it was really good for her to be able to just have this kind of like word vomit of feelings. And definitely she's got a long way to go, but I think that she is gonna try to heal. Like, she is gonna try to become like a better person, but still remain who she is to her core. But this is just such an upsetting scene, and I was still so sad that, like, you know, she finally got to walk all the way down, and then she was just so fueled by her anger and her hate and her feeling of no one loving her in the way that she needs to be loved. And I'm just like, oh, my poor baby. And then like Cassian, when he followed her down the stairs and he walked down all 10,000 of them and he was just looking for her, like, they are clearly mates. Like, there is so many little like snippets of sentences and feelings and stuff that keeps happening here. Like, it's a thing. But how does it happen? With Rhys, it took him a little while to realize that Feyre was actually his mate, and once she became Fae, it like set in more, and we didn't literally see when the bond happened, like, because they were on the balcony and they were talking about the thingy and he literally stumbled and then he fucked off because he's like, holy shit. But then you get Lucien, who saw Elain only once, and he's just like, she's my mate. But with Nesta and Cassian, they've known each other for 2 years, and he never had an inkling that they're gonna be mates. Like, I don't understand how he wouldn't have sensed it. And I'm so glad that they didn't have it end up being that, like, Azriel was Elain's mate. Like, what are the odds that these 3 Fae dudes who are all the same age, all 500 years old, managed to have mates that are all sisters? Like, it would have been just weird, and I honestly feel like it just doesn't work if they all date each other. But I also feel like Azriel and Elain is kind of cute. Like, I wanted him with more, but they had to ruin that for me. So like, it would be cute. But like, I don't know, maybe you can end up with like one of the other chicks, like maybe Emery or Gwen or something. Like, that could be cute, but I don't really feel the vibe. I'm just a bit sad right now. But also, guys, my birthday's tomorrow. It's happening and I'm excited. I can't believe I'm gonna be 23. Like, I'm kind of like, but also like excited. Like, I feel like I've just been waiting for my birthday for like ages though, because I'm going to be having like a little party tomorrow. It's gonna be a little barbecue and I'm gonna be able to see some of my friends, and I've been really excited about it, and like, it's happening tomorrow. It's so exciting. Oh my god, hi my dudes. It has been like 4 days since I've vlogged, and I totally missed vlogging on my birthday. So my birthday was on the 6th of March and I turned 23. Had a great day and also had a pretty epic party, but it was a very intense cleanup the next day. I drank a lot, it was a lot of fun, and I just didn't vlog on the day because I didn't read anything, but I wanted to just come on quickly and be like, hey guys, it's my B-day. But it's the 9th now, but it's actually closer to the 10th because it's 12 o'clock at night, and I still really haven't done much reading. I'm up to page 552 and Goodreads is telling me that I'm 72% of the way through the book, and because it's been a couple of days, I don't remember what I talked about last. I'm pretty sure that I mentioned that they had to go into the prison because the harp has been buried under the prison for like 10 million years, and Nesta was able to go down there and get it. But then there was this like demon called like Lianthe or something that Cassian put in the prison like 200 years ago, and it's like a death demon, and it's like obsessed with Nesta and wants to marry her now, but she was able to kill it. But Cassian is terrified of this being, and he was able to like trap it, but then Nesta just comes in and is like, what, and kills it. And now they're trying to figure out what to do because they've found the harp, and there might be a 4th death trove thing, and I'm like curious because she saw something that's like made out of wood, and I'm like, oh my god, what is that? Like, I don't know if that's going to be discovered in this book or in one of the later ones, but I am intrigued about that. And we also know that like the crone queen lady, like her name starts with a B, but I can't think of what it is right now, already has the crown. So they found 2 of them, but she has 1 of them, and I'm sure down the line she is going to possess like Cassian or someone and use them against Nesta, because none of the weapons can actually be used on anyone that was made in the cauldron. So Elain and Nesta are pretty much safe, and also the Queen Lady is pretty much safe as well. The thing that I just haven't touched on as much in this, and of course I've touched on the smut and stuff, but like, how much dirtier are Cassie and Nesta than Feyre and Rhys? Like, Feyre and Rhys seem pretty calm after reading this book, because like, yeah, they had some sexy times and it was pretty intense, and like the ones in ACOFAS were just too much when they were like, oh, I went into like another dimension of passion in my bloody sex times, and I'm like, my god, stop, it's too much. But these guys are just going very far and pretty much doing everything there is to do, and I'm sitting there like, it's too much. Like, you guys are way dirtier. You are making me very cringe a lot of the time. Like, I don't mind reading it, but like, stop. And also when they were in the prison and like they were pretty terrified to be in there because there's so many things, and then like Cassian gave her one heated look and she's like, I know what we're gonna be doing once we get out of here. And I'm like, dude, you're about to fucking die. Just calm the heck down. Don't be thinking with your bodies, think with your heads and get through the shit. It's just annoying, man. Not everything is about that. Some things are about that, but not everything. Not every situation is about that. And I'm sure they're gonna have sex 800 more times in the last 200 pages of this book. That's probably why it had to be 750 pages, because 200 pages of it is just all the sexy times, and I'm just like, it's enough now. They've gone too far. She has gone too far. Okay, I need to be able to like do the hand movements, guys, because I have just found out that there is a bonus Faison chapter and also a bonus Azriel chapter in the special editions of A Court of Seven Flames. It was going to tell me that you'd have to buy 2 editions of the book just to get the bonus chapters. Also, side note, here's Azriel. He's like, hello. He wants to say hello, don't you? There's people at my house at the moment, so I'm filming, yet I need to be concerned in case I walk past the window. So I went on the Tumblrs and I found the bonus chapters. I don't even care. Thank you to whoever posted it. And I just need to dissect this because we got some info in just 2 chapters. The Azriel chapter, we have discovered that he is in love with Elain. Like, he loves her, he thinks about her at night, he jerks off about the fact that he wants to be with her, and I'm just like, oh my god. And Elain kind of wants it too. And this chapter takes past when they do like solstice in A Court of Silver Flame, so I haven't gotten up to that yet, but they exchange presents and then they kind of had some feelings there, and then they're about to kiss, and then Rhysand is like, bitch, no, you can't do that, and he brings Azriel to his office, and he's like, Lucian's right there, dude, you cannot take his mate and decide to be with him. And like the saddest thing happened is when it's like, what if the cauldron picked wrong? Like, what if he stuffed it up? Because how can these 3 sisters have come into our lives and both you 2 get one and I don't get one? And I'm so sad for Azriel because he just wants to be with Elain and he just wants her to be a part of him, and he just finds it so unfair that Rhysand and Cassian get who they want and he doesn't get to have who he wants, and he's just all mad and he leaves, and he's just like, well, to Rhys, he's ready to quit. He's like, I'm leaving, I don't want to work with you anymore, I just want to be with the person I want to be with. And it's like, after 500 years of loving Maul, and then he finally finds Elain, and then he can't be with her either, and then there's this cute moment that he has with Gwen, and now I'm kind of thinking, like, I know some people have been kind of teasing that something could happen with Gwen, but I wasn't really sure, and like probably they'll end up being mates or something, but like, I am excited about these developments, and also the fact that he got Elain that necklace, but then she gave it back to him and then he gave it to Gwen, and I'm like, okay, Azriel, it's too much. You're like being a player right now. But my god, I didn't expect Azriel to be so full on, like, you know, I'm gonna like chuck it down and have sex with her. I'm like, dude, calm down. Like, you were not meant to be like that, yet you are like that. Like, all these boys, all they think about is sex. It's just what they do. And then coming into the Faison chapter, this takes place after they just revealed the news that they're having a baby to everyone. And of course, you know, it's 1 chapter, it's 10 pages. They have to have a sexy time moment, like literally 10 pages, and this is the thing that she's gonna make them do. Okay, but the thing is earlier in the vlog I talked about the fact that I was really excited that she was having a baby, but I was also really sad that we didn't get to see any information about how they felt about the baby, and also like the announcement of the baby. And I'm so excited because we got that. We got to see the reaction that Rhys had to the baby, and I'm beyond happy. Besides the sexy times, that was the best thing about this chapter. So basically, Feyre had a nightmare and she was down at the studio painting, and everyone had gone home, and then like Rhysand had come to like pick her up, and he just came into the room and he just stopped and dropped to his knees and just burst into tears, and he's just there like, a baby, it's a baby, Feyre, it's a baby. And I'm just like, oh, and she was so excited. And then of course they had to have sex the minute they found the announcement out. And apparently when females get pregnant, they just want to have sex every day, 24/7. So like, what is the fetish over sex? Like, it was such a cute moment, and then they just had to have sex. Like, I understand it's a big thing, but like, she's pregnant now, you probably shouldn't be having sex as much, dude, because like, what about the baby? And they also were talking about baby names, so I feel like I might have potentially spoiled myself reading this chapter, because it's like, I don't know if the baby's gonna be okay or not. Like, I'm assuming it's gonna be okay, but they were talking about baby names, and like, Rhys was all like, oh, we could call it after your father, and she's like, no, maybe the middle name. And then they're like, Rhys, what about your last name? And he's like, we don't talk about that. And I'm like, the thing that I want to know is what's Rhys's last name. Like, I heard that gets dropped at some point in the series, because it's like the biggest unknown thing, and I'm like, tell me what it is. But the name that they want to call the baby is Nyx, and I think that's just adorable because it's like the goddess of night and darkness and stars and thing, and I think it works really well. Like, it's a girl's name, but they're gonna make it a boy's name. Like, how cute. They're gonna have a little baby and it's gonna be so cute. But like, I'm so glad that I discovered that there was these bonus chapters and I had to just come on here and talk about it. This book feels like it's never gonna end, but like, I feel like I'm getting so close. I'm up to page 612, so I've got like 150 pages left to go, and like, they just celebrated winter solstice and Feyre's birthday, and it's just so cute seeing them all happy and celebrating, and Nesta's actually participating this time because last year she was only there because Feyre basically paid her and she hated it and she ran off, and then Castian was going to give her the gift and then he got mad and chucked it in the river, and we finally found out that it was a book, and I'm like, oh, adorable. And then he just gave her like some music box thingy that's like shaped like an egg, and then they finally declared their love for each other, and it was so good. Like, 600 pages of them not admitting their feelings and just hate fucking and just not caring about anything, and then for them to like finally say that they love each other, like, it's so cute. And how good was the scene in the Court of Nightmares where Nesta was like really bringing it with the dancing, and Eris is like obsessed with her and wants to marry her, and then Cassian got jealous and he's just like, not my girl, you cannot have her, even though Eris is like basically begging on his knees to marry Nesta. And also what was fun is Moore was giving Nesta dancing lessons, but she also was giving Cassian dancing lessons in private so that he could like shred on the dance floor, and like, that is my favorite. And also just the little connection here that there could be something that happens between Emery and Moore, because like Emery blushed when they mentioned Moore, and I'm like, oh my god, is this a thing? Like, I hope that everyone hasn't been paired off though, because I have been seeing a lot of stuff about people being obsessed with the idea of Azriel and Gwen. So basically Nesta is bringing it with the bloody girlfriends for the rest of the inner circle. And also, what about the scene where the house like brought Nesta down to its like heart, and it's actually the darkness down the bottom of the library? So this whole time we've been kind of thinking it was like this really eerie thing, but it's just the house chilling down there, and Nesta has totally made this house come alive, and I think that's really, really interesting. But for her to like not have any fear and just keep walking all the way down to the bottom, because Braxis used to be down there and then he disappeared and we don't know where he's gone, but then the house has just taken residence down there. But like, the house is a character of itself, and it is like one of the coolest things I think in the book. And I think that's all my thoughts for right now. I don't know if anything else has happened because I don't remember what I vlogged about last. Oh, shit is getting real, guys. Oh my god. So I've just gotten up to part 4, and I didn't expect there to be a part 4 because there's only 3 parts to become a Valkyrie, but we have got Ataraxia, which is Nesta's sword's name, and some stuff has happened, guys. Some things have gone on. So firstly, they're all Valkyries now, and I'm so proud because they were able to cut the ribbon and it was so cute, and they're like all gonna be this like amazing squad of Valkyries. And even the other priestesses have started to like do the Valkyrie ritual, and they were to cut the ribbon, so like they're all gonna be this big unit of female fighters, and I'm obsessed with it because I'm like, yes, you go girls, you are gonna fight and you're gonna win. And then they had to do this like obstacle course thing, and they kept doing it for like months, and they couldn't do it because they had to like do it together in a group of 3 and try to figure out everything. And then they finally did it, and what it was the qualifiers to go into the blood rite, and I'm thinking, oh shit. So they've managed to do that without knowing it, and now Nesta, Gwen and Emery have just been taken from their beds and they've been chucked into the blood rite, and shit's gonna get bad because all these male Illyrians are like, oh, women suck and everything, and they're just gonna be adamant about killing them, and I am concerned. But like, they're Valkyries, which is so exciting, even though they have to do the blood rite. Like, I knew the blood rite was coming, but also it's just like, my god, why? And I've only got 100 pages left to go, so like, what more can happen? And the other exciting thing is we got another Starfall, which is really exciting. Like, obviously it's happened a couple of times since the first Starfall where Feyre and Rhys had their moment, which is so cute, but they had Starfall, and it was just really nice because Nesta went there and she was really excited, and she got down the stairs too, which I'm so excited about. Like, she did it and it was so uplifting, and this is what I wanted, okay? I wanted her to get down there, feel fulfilled and be happy, and she went all the way down, opened the door, breathed a sign of relief and walked all the way back up. Like, she doesn't need a drink, she doesn't need to go to pleasure halls, she is strong in her own self, and I was so proud of that. But also for the fact that she made up with Amren, which was just so cute because she like dropped to her knees in front of Amren, started crying and just apologized, and Amren's just like, you know what girl, welcome back to the Night Court because you've done it, you've completely changed yourself and you're okay, and you're gonna go for some bad days and some good days, but you are a better person now, and I'm just so excited that they're friends again. Like, so cute. Also, there is something that's really exciting because they're mentioning Aelin in this book, and I'm so excited because there was this rare red star that like blasted across the sky one day, and Rhys is a bit flustered by the whole experience because he sees the red star going and he uses his magic to slow it because he realizes it's going too fast. And I just like that that was alluding to Aelin, like, yes, thank you, please add this to the book because it's so good. And I'm just like, oh my god. I remember when, from Aelin's point of view, when she was talking about the pregnant female, she was like swelling with the pregnancy, and I was thinking, oh, if it happened at winter solstice, Feyre wasn't too pregnant, but apparently she's 8 months pregnant now, so this book has been taking place already for 6 months. She's only got 2 more months left to go, so I'm assuming it's gonna happen in this book. Like, I want to see the baby. I want to see little baby Nyx because, like, it's gonna be so cute. And also, finally got confirmation about the damn mate bond, and at this point, I couldn't really care less. I do like the idea of mates, like, it just adds that next level to the romance, but just, like, everyone has a mate. Like, it's hard to really accept it fully, and like now it's just like, oh, maybe Azriel and Gwen are gonna be mates, and I'm like, my god, calm down. Everyone doesn't need to have a mate. I just want someone to be together just because they want to be together. But the whole scene was pretty intense because like Cassian's just like, I've known it since like you were a human that we were mates, and you never think about it in your POV, Cassian, to like let me know that. Like, that was annoying enough, but then they started arguing about it, and when he was like, oh well, I wish I wasn't shackled to you, and Nesta was so hurt. But then she's like, no, I'm not going to lash out at him because that's what I used to do and I don't do that anymore, which I thought was smart of her. But she finally used the bargain and basically told him to fuck off and to not talk to her for a week. So he wasn't there for her when she was taken to go to the blood rite. But I kind of forgot about the bargain until the moment when I was reading that scene, and I was like, oh shit, and Cassian was like, no, Nesta, don't send me away. And I'm like, oh, damn, it's stressful. And now, even with the bargain, he can't talk to her at all anyway because she's in the blood rite. And if anyone interferes, it's like high treason or some shit, and you get murdered or you get like hunted for sport or something. So it's like, my god, it's just too stressful. Like, they're gonna probably die, but they're not going to. I also wonder, 100 pages left, I hope they don't rush it too much because I feel like it's obviously been building that they're gonna do the blood rite, but now there's not much left of the book. But Nesta's development has been done so well. I can firmly say that I love her now, and I know that's ironic because at the start of my video where I was like, oh my god, if I end up loving Nesta and hate Rhysand, I'm gonna riot. But I still love both of them, so I think it's okay because no one is ever gonna take my love for Rhysand away. But Nesta has a place in my heart now, and I'm so glad because I spent so long hating her because she was just so annoying, but I just didn't understand her without actually being in her mind. I'm enjoying this so much. This vlog is going to be hella long, but like, you need all the content from me. Hello guys, I'm here to talk a bit more about my book for the 800th time. I've actually been doing a bit of painting, so I've actually got like paint on me, and I've decided to make my Ghostbusters shirt my paint shirt, and like, I don't paint, yet I've been painting. I'm like so proud of myself. We've been painting furniture white and all the fun things. But the book, I've only read a little bit more on my lunch break, but a few things I'm going to talk about is like, my god, the blood rite is intense, and I'm pretty sure the Queen has already like sabotaged it because there's just a shit ton of weapons and supplies everywhere when they're not meant to have weapons. So part of me's thinking like, are they going to pass the blood rite, but they also have the help of weapons, so does it really count because like it's been sabotaged? They're not doing like the legit blood rite, but I'm still going to be proud of them if they get to the top. And Nesta has been running around naked, and she's found Emery, and then they're both running around naked, and they finally got some clothes. And there was even an Illyrian who was like, yo, I don't want to get on Feyre's bad side, so I'm going to help you tonight, but then you're on your own, which I was like, what? So they still have to get Gwen, and I'm so horrified because what happened to her at that church 2 years ago, I am so concerned for her to be around all these males, and I'm like, I hope she doesn't get raped again because it would be awful. But the thing I want to talk about is Cassian is flipping his shit because Nesta's gone and he can't do anything about it. And then we find out that Eris has been taken by the Queen and they have to go get him, and he's sitting there like, Rhys, why can't you just go and like stop it and go get him? And Rhys is like, you know, I can't. And they're like, dude, why can't you? And he's just like, well, me and Feyre made a bargain that if one of us dies, the other one dies. And for some reason, I forgot that they'd made a legit bargain. I thought they were just making a promise to each other. I didn't know they made a bargain. And now that Feyre might die from the pregnancy, this is just more concerning because he's gonna die too. And I'm so agreeing with Amren here, being all like, why? This is so stupid just because you love each other. So does this mean that Rhys is never going to do anything ever again just in case he dies and Feyre dies? Like, this is just not a bargain that makes sense. Like, I know that, like, if after 500 years one of you dies and you don't want to live without the other, like, I understand that, but like every time there's danger, there is the risk that one of you could die and both of you are going to die. And if people know about this, then it's so easy to target just one of you, and then they get rid of all of the Night Court leaders. So it's like so stupid, but I'm excited to keep reading. I don't know if I'll finish it today, but like, I'm keen. Oh my god, guys, it's the next day. It's all happening. It's all happening. I'm so stressed, man, because like they have made it to the base of Remedial, or whatever the mountain's called. They've made it there, so they've literally done something that only 12 other Illyrian males have done in the past. So these women are boss ass, and they're trying to get up the mountain, and then my god, they are all injured. Emery twisted her ankle, and Gwen had an arrow shot through her leg, and like Nesta is literally carrying Gwen up the mountain because she just can't go anymore. And then all the Illyrians are starting to come up, so Nesta's like, I'm gonna stay to make sure that you guys can get up the top. So Nesta's just there ready to kill everyone, and she is fighting majestically, and the other two are gonna get up the mountain and hopefully touch the stone. And I'm just stressed because like, my god. And then we found out that Eris has like been under the control of the crown this whole entire time, and they're gonna catch a Cassian, and I'm stressed because they're like, oh, we've got heaps of time before dawn, so I wonder if he's gonna like attack Nesta. Oh my god, I'm so concerned. That's like the high energy stuff, but something that I thought was a really good moment is we finally found out what happened to Gwen and what happened to Emery, and Nesta finally told them about it herself. And it was actually so good for them to all reveal their secrets to each other and just bonded so strongly. And I definitely do like the idea that even though Nesta has her sisters in Elaine and Feyre, she has made this family with Emery and Gwen, and like they are like more sisters to her than her actual sisters. And it's just so adorable that she has this family, she's made friends, she's finally found connections that are so important in her life, and they're all fighters, they're all Valkyries, and it's just so beautiful for her to have found this, and I just love it so much. But like, I've only got like 60 pages left, and I'm gonna be like vlogging every 10 pages, I think, because shit's getting real. Oh my god, I am so stressed. I can't deal with this book anymore because Feyre went into labor and she's gonna fucking die, and I've been literally so stressed because I read the book on my lunch break, and literally I just got to the point where they cut Feyre open and they taken the baby out, and he's not breathing, and Rhys is about to die, and Feyre's about to die, and I had to go back down, and I haven't been able to pick it up since. And like, what's gonna happen? Like, are all the High Lords gonna turn up and just fix her, or is Nesta gonna do something? Like, they can't end like this. They can't end like this. Like, I was nearly crying in the lunchroom because I'm just like, no. It was so empowering after the blood rite and everything was fine, and then suddenly Maud just turns up and she's just like, it's Feyre, and they run in and she's bleeding everywhere. Rhys is freaking out. He is just screaming and crying, and Feyre's just not moving, and then they literally had to do a C-section. And like, why is there no medical shit in these worlds? Like, they need to have better medical stuff. Like, they could literally deliver her winged baby in our world completely fine. They'd be freaking the fuck out because it's like, oh my god, it's got wings. Why is it so like medieval? Like, they need to get some better shit sorted here. But I'm just, oh, like, if Feyre dies, I'm gonna be so sad. Like, she never kills the characters off, and she already killed Rhys off and brought him back, and she already killed Feyre off and brought her back. So like, I don't think it's gonna happen again. Like, there's gotta be some magic pool that's gonna fix it. But I'm really mad about the damn deal that Rhys had made with Feyre now, because it's like literally all three of them are gonna go, and like the baby not being alive is freaking me out because it's a preemie baby and he's just not breathing. I'm so fucking stressed. It's okay. It's okay. Feyre made it. Feyre is not dead. Rhys is not dead. And there's my baby. Oh my god, that scene didn't last for that long, but like, I was so stressed. And then Nesta like was able to get everything from the trove, and she like went into this weird trance where she used all of them, and like she was able to stop time with the harp, which I was like, what? So she stopped Feyre dying, and then she was trying to fix it, and she literally just made a bargain with the cauldron to give up all of her power so that she could save her sister. And then the baby was transformed to like a healthy baby, and it was survived. And then Rhys was so happy that he literally dropped to his knees in front of Nesta like sobbing, and then she hugged him, and I'm like, thank god that they finally love each other, because like, oh. And she's like, he's my brother, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, if Feyre came back but the baby died, there was no way they were gonna come back from that. Like, I don't think Sarah J Maas would have ever done that. But like, you got my heart racing. Like, I knew they were gonna be okay, but my god. But something really cool that Nesta actually did though was change Feyre's body so that next time she has a baby, it's gonna be a lot easier, so that she's got like the womb and insides of an Illyrian woman, so next time if there's gonna be wings, it's gonna be okay. And Nesta also changed her body so that when she has kids with Cassian, it's gonna be okay. but she didn't change Elaine's. So I'm wondering if that is a key point to say that Azriel and Elaine will never happen. Oh my god, they're totally like a crack pairing for me because I feel like it's not gonna happen, but like I want it to happen. I've only got 20 pages left, I think, and I am definitely gonna finish it tonight, but I had to come on here and talk about it. And also for the fact that Nesta finally accepted the mate bond, but like every time that there is a mate bond, they always fight it and then they end up being like, oh, okay, fine, I love you too. But it was hilarious because Nesta's like, I want a really big mate bond ceremony, and Cassian's like, really? I don't think I'm gonna live that down. And then she just pulls out this fucking biscuit that she gets from somewhere, and Cassian was just like, so we have to do something elaborate or you're just gonna give me this like stale ass biscuit. And it was the funniest thing. I think that was the most I've laughed the whole entire book. Like, that is my favorite line of the whole entire thing. I don't care what else happens, that's the best line. And also because Feyre's pregnancy took over everything, they got to the base of the mountain and then Gwen and Emery made it to the top when they pressed the stone. So literally like 6 males have actually gotten to the top and these 2 females managed to do it, and I'm so proud of them. And then Nesta was like holding the pass for them and she was like fighting them off, and then she found out that like Emery's cousin was actually under Brielle's control, so I was like, holy shit. But then Cassian came in and he was trying to kill her and he just didn't want to, and he was fighting so hard, and then like he went to go stab himself, and then finally the whole thing ended and Nesta got her powers back and she literally just unmade Brielle and turned her to dust, and she saved Cassian, and it was so cute. And I'm just like, oh my god. The only thing though is with this blood rite, like it was obviously sabotaged from the beginning because they all had weapons, but it just doesn't make sense kinda that like Emery, Gwen and Nesta were only training for like 6 months and they managed to beat Illyrian warriors who have been doing it for like their whole entire life. Like, good for them for doing it, like yay to women power and yay for doing it, but it just doesn't seem plausible that they would be better than all the Illyrians after only a short amount of time. And I know that they became Valkyries and they did everything right, but it just kind of seems like the honor of the blood rite might be a bit less now. Like when Azriel, Rhys and Cassian did it, it was because they were bloody fucking epic and they got up there and did such a great job. And like, I am so glad that they managed to get up there, but I think it's kind of interesting too that Nesta wasn't up there with them as well. So she still gets like one of the Illyrian titles, but they're all like, nah, we want to only be Valkyries. So I just feel like it was a bit kind of weird the way that Sarah J Maas wrote it, and like I feel like maybe they should have done the blood rite in a couple more years, and like it was still so horrible that they were taken from their beds and literally they've all been assaulted by different men in their lives, and it was awful for them to have to wake up surrounded by them in only their nightgowns, and literally every person they came across wanted to assault them before they killed them. And I felt so bad for Gwen, like she just did not deserve any of that. I did it, I'm finally done A Court of Silver Flame. It was such a good ending. Everything tied up pretty well, even though stuff that's generally happening in the world, not a lot happened in this book, because I feel like with this kind of like companion series thing that she's got going on now, the next book is going to talk more about that water dragon demon dude, and then there'll be other alliance things, and obviously the High King thing I think is still going to come into place. Even though a lot happened on a character level in this book, there's still so much more to be expanded on and so many things to think about. So even as I say stuff tied up pretty well in this book, like Nesta and Cassian have tied up really well, and also Feyre and Rhys and baby Nyx. Like, I'm so excited because the baby's so cute. Like, even though we only saw him for like 2 chapters and everyone just loves holding him and everyone loves hanging out with him, I can't wait to see him grow as we progress through the other 2 books and the novella that we're gonna get. I just can't believe I finished it. It took me so long, but that's because I've been really slumpy and really slow with my reading, but definitely gonna give this 5 stars. I definitely had a fun time reading it, and just the development of Nesta's character through this book was done so incredibly well, and I'm so glad who she's become as a person and where she is in her life now. And even though, as she says, she's gonna have hard days and she's gonna have good days, I think she's finally found the place that she belongs, and she's found a home, she's found her mate, and I'm so glad for the happiness that she has. And just, oh, this was such an experience, and now we're not gonna get a Sarah J Maas book for like 2 more years. But guys, thank you so much if you got to the end of this vlog for watching, because it is going to be a long one. I'm predicting it's going to be at least over an hour. Will YouTube even let me upload this? Who knows? But guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!